Hello and welcome to Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet. I hope everybody is doing well tonight. We are going to finish up our cute ghost cookies from this morning, and then we're going to do a little bit of experimenting with airbrushing the sunflower cookies from last week, and let's hope everything goes well. I've charged up my cordless air gun. I'm using a new I don't want to use that word. I don't want my video to get tagged. So I'm using a new part to the top, which I'll show you in the video in just a second, with a smaller needle. I have to be so careful because I got a security alert today for saying the HIT word. And so I was able to respond and say that it wasn't being used in that way. So we'll see. Hopefully they won't take my video down, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Just have to be careful these days, right? All right, guys, if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel yet, please do that. You can watch all the videos there, nice organized fashion, everything organized by date, and there's about 2 years worth of content there. So if you're looking for something, you can probably find it there. If you haven't signed up for live stream text alerts yet, please do that by texting the word live stream, all capital letters, all one word, to 540-870-0726. We'll get you on the text alerts for any live streams that occur between 9 a.m. and 9 p.m. Eastern time. Okay, we don't text outside those hours because we don't want to wake anybody up. Let's see. We have 2 classes up for sale right now at seriouslysweetcupcakes.com. One is this first in a series of 6 stackables classes. This weekend is called Spooky. Next weekend is Haunted Halloween Manor. Also, if you haven't joined our free tutorial group, please do that. It's on Facebook. It's called Cookie Snack Attack with Seriously Sweet, and you'll get in on all kinds of fun stuff. We have Mad Scientist Monday, and we have 2 Tutorial Tuesday. We have Wild Card Wednesday, also known as Wacky Wednesday. So that's where we add in a lot of things that when we have people that can't fit in on the other days, we try to bring them in on those days. Visit the website when you get a chance. We'd just love to see you there. And let's look at just a couple of things really quick. So top of the comment section tonight on the Facebook pages, I have a link posted for you to sign up for the extended access for Holiday Cookie-a-thon with Nancy Westfall at The Colorful Cookie. And this is the piece that I will be making. I did land one of the live slots, so you'll get to see my video, plus you'll get to ask me questions after the video. There's also a couple bonus videos for you and a supply list and all of that. You'll see those things if you purchase the extended access. And if you purchase through my link, it's an affiliate link. We'll get a little bit of commission there, and that will help us keep live streaming, okay? So that's the cute piece that I'm making. It's a 3D piece called North Pole Fluff and Fold. All right, and tonight we're going to be finishing up our little ghosts, okay? All righty, and classes for this weekend, you guys. We have got Spooky on Saturday from 4 to 7 in our private Facebook group. Still time to get in on that. Next weekend is Haunted Halloween Manor. And earlier this morning, we did the ghosts. So tonight we'll finish those up. Then we're going to do a little bit of Mad Scientist on Tuesday because we're going to be doing some airbrushing. And we haven't done a lot of that before, so we're just going to play with that and kind of see how that goes tonight. Also super excited. I'm going to be teaching at CookieCon in Ohio, and we'll talk to you more about that later. And then if you are attending the Fall Unplugged Cookie Snack Attack Retreat at the end of the month, I would love for you guys to go in to the private group about 15 minutes after our video finishes up tonight. Find the file that is for name tags, and everybody just go check out the name tags. Make sure I have your name spelled correctly and that I have you placed as from the right state. And once you've done that, please comment below that file in that post so that I know you have verified that everything is correct. If you have a spouse attending with you, they also have a name tag. Those are necessary in order to get your fun passes when we arrive. This is what you'll use to take to the counter to grab fun passes because they only issue those if you go to claim them. Okay, so you will need this, and I just want to make sure I have your names all correct on there. Okay, let's go say hi to a few people, and then we're going to get started. I hope everyone has had a wonderful day. Mine has been productive, but extremely busy. So we will just go quickly and then jump into our tutorial here. Fabiola, how are you? Are you going to go to the Ohio Cookie Con? I really want to see you in person again. Hello, Sally. How are you? Hi, Miss Pamela. Pamela, check name tags for you and Mr. Robert, please. Just make sure they're both correct. Hey, Barbie, how are you tonight? Hi, Barbara. How are you? Hey, Debbie. How's it going? Whoopi is in the house. Whoopi, I'm excited that you're here with us tonight. Sally, hope everything's okay on there. You're probably just seeing the front of the video. I have to leave that thumbnail up there for a little bit so that that's what shows when the video goes on replay. Hey, Lavelle, how are you doing tonight? Hello, Jessica. Cindy, hey, how are you? Cindy is not watching from Louisiana tonight. She is somewhere else this evening. So I hope wherever you are and you're watching tonight, you're having fun. Hello, Miss Priscilla. How are you? Pamela, good to see you. Kat is here. Yes, I'm hoping that you will be able to go. I'll definitely be at Ohio. I would also like to be at Florida, but I'm only teaching in Ohio right now. That's all I'm scheduled for right now. Hey, Nadine, how are you? Sally, your oven died. That means you need a double oven, Sally. Can you get a double oven? Do you have space for that? So yes, Dawn, I put just a couple eyelashes on here. I'm not quite done. I want to put another one, but I was just fooling around with it before we got started. Hey, Kelly, how are you? Lavelle, is that you? Hey, Susan. All right, so let's take a look at what we did earlier today. And I think I want to turn one more light on. Somehow, it just seems like it gets darker and darker in here. Well, I mean, I guess the sun is going down sooner, so I don't have that normal amount of light that I would. Let me move this over here. I think that'll be better, and then we'll turn this, okay? Hope I didn't make anyone seasick just then. Let's pull this down a little bit. So these are our cute ghosts from earlier. Also, I've got some airbrush colors on the counter for tonight. So using my, hey, Rachel, how are you doing? Hey, Becky. I know, Fabiola. I'm so excited. This is, I'm teaching add-on. So this is my first time to do add-on. I did demo at the first one that I attended. I did elective at the second one. Excuse me. And I'm going to be doing add-on at this one. So I'm super excited. And I hope you guys will like the project. All right. Hey, Becky, how are you? Hope you're doing well tonight. I think Rachel's with us too. So say hi, Rachel. All right, so this morning we did very simple, basic flat ghosts that you can crank out fast. Then we did some with some candy on them so that the kids would be a little more excited. And I used a bat from the Walmart collection of sprinkles this year to make a bow tie. I just used icing to make a little crinkly smile. We used PME pearls, and as you can see, hours later, they did not bleed into the icing. PME pearls are great for this. Wilton pearls, I tested some that I just bought a few weeks ago. The black ones still bleed into the icing. So I'd go with PME if you want to use candy for the eyeballs. Hey, Rachel. And Kelly, you like the little baby ghost. So the night that I was on with May, Maite Del Angel, the night she was on with me was a Wednesday. And I used a mini ghost cutter and a stencil, and I textured my little ghost, did it fondant. I dusted it with Brilliant Sparkle, and I added these cute little eyeballs to it. But you know what I'm going to do real quick? I'm going to use my marker. Just color those eyeballs because the Brilliant Sparkle really covered them up. We'll see if that helps any. Makes them a little darker, but a little baby ghost on there. You guys said you liked the baby ghost with it this morning. And then there's obviously way too many expensive sprinkles on here, but I was just putting them in places to give you ideas of what you could do. You could have just done the large ghost and the small ghost, left this off and had the bat for the bow tie. You could have left the bow tie off, done just a spider. You could have left all of that off and done just the tombstone. So anything you want to do there, okay? And I love this ghost cutter too so much. And I think it's going to make a pretty cute cactus in the summertime too with a little bit of trimming, right? I think that's going to be kind of cool. Hello there. And I love the bat bow tie. All right, so this little guy, this morning we did it with black icing. So I just took my pen and just darkened that in and then shaded because I didn't want to airbrush this one. I shaded around the eyes just so that it would have that black coming down the sides and then into the flat eyeball. And then using a fine point edible ink. See that? I did some eyelashes, but I want to give them just a couple more. I just wanted to make sure my icing was dry enough before I started drawing on them. And it is, but I want to make them just a little curlier, a little bit longer. So there we go. Really cute. I also increased the color and highlighted around the edges of the mouth, but really simple, fast ghost. If you really wanted to bring it up another notch, you could use the bow fondant mold and do either modeling chocolate or fondant. Have your bows made ahead of time. I'd probably do them in black or orange or lime green or purple, something to match your other cookies in your set. But for a little guy, you could add the bow tie right here. For a girl, you could easily add a bow up here when the icing's wet and just boom, boom, you're done. Those are fast, easy cookies. Look like they took a lot of time. All right, these are not nonpareils, Lavelle. They are actually black sugar pearls, and they're 4 millimeter. All of these and these two are both 4 mil. Okay. Nonpareils are like 1 mil. So, and here's the two. We also remember we talked about flipping one of your ghosts so that you would have same cutter, but I have 2 different looking ghosts now going up. So I think this would be really fun to do by assorting do a basic ghost like this, but assort the colors of your ghost. I think that would be fun. Have a white ghost, a black ghost, a lime green ghost, a yellow ghost, a orange ghost, a bright purple ghost. Those would be so cute to mix in your sets as well and be a little bit different than the norm, right? Because pretty much everybody does them just like this. This one has diamond dust, which you can see in the picture, and this one has no diamond dust, okay? All right, so that finishes up our ghosts from this morning. I'm glad we got so far into that tutorial this morning. I think I just cracked my icing. I did. Well, y'all just forgive me. It wasn't as set as I thought, and I put too much pressure on this bottom edge. When I take the photo, I'll try to hide it with my cool Halloween staging items, but I did crack the bottom of the icing on my cookie because I put my thumb right in it when I picked it up. Sorry about that. I thought they were drier because I was just sketching away on them and nothing was collapsing. But you see, I tell you, I do that all the time. All right, I get in a rush on those things. Now, we need to make a little staging area here because I don't want to get airbrush all over everything. So let's do this. I've got a roll of paper towels. We're going to do some experimenting with our colors. I'm going to cover my keyboard. I put some press and seal on my keyboard earlier. I'm going to get my phone over here out of the way. Hey, Kathy, how are you? Let's say hello to just a couple more people. It is like they're dancing together, isn't it? It's cute. Hello there. I know. It's always that last thing that you do when you just go too fast, isn't it? Ugh. All right. So you guys tell me. Let me make sure I haven't missed any comments here. Keyboard's covered. A little bit of paper towel out. Now I'm going to bring in my 2 sunflowers that we did over the last Tuesday and maybe the Tuesday before, or I started them the Tuesday before and then we had a medical emergency, so I couldn't finish them right away. I really don't even remember what night we started them. I've pulled out some airbrush colors because I don't know what airbrush color I want to use on top of this, but I want to create some highlights. Let me find something to set on that so that doesn't keep falling down. There we go. So I pulled out lemon yellow and sunshine yellow. One's Americolor, one's Cookie Countess. We're going to see if they're different. We're going to spray onto the paper towels before we pick which yellow to use on the sunflowers. And if we don't like that, I don't do a lot of airbrushing, so my colors aren't built up yet. So I don't have orange. Orange would be the next thing I would go to. But you know what we could do? We could, if I have any left. Do I have any left? Hold on. We could put a touch. We could make our own airbrush color by mixing. Let me just see if I have any antique lace left because that's ivory. And that would dull down our yellow. So that because spraying the same color of yellow on the yellow, you're not even going to notice that, so it's not worth doing it. I think this is the one I'm looking for, so we might try this in a couple minutes, okay? Let me just leave that there. I want to make sure that I did not accidentally pull any gel colors so that I don't junk up my airbrush while I'm doing this. Have to be careful. And then I pulled several shades of green. We're going to look at glowing green, forest green, succulent green. These are all things I've gotten in the Cookie Life Box kits, I think, or in the Dots and Bows Get the Dough Rolling kits over the last couple of years. So let's put that there. I'm going to cover up my cookies because we're going to test these colors ahead of time. I'm also using a different sprayer. I'm going to call it a sprayer, but you guys know we call it a three-letter word that is probably going to get tagged on Facebook. So I want to be careful not to use that. Okay. But this part I'm using a smaller needle. Hey, Heather, how are you? How is everything going? I can't believe you're catching alive. I feel like we haven't seen you in forever. Hope you're doing well. Camille, hey. Has the cutters and molds. Okay, good. All right, good. That means probably everybody has them in stock now, so that's wonderful. All right, so charge this up. This is a cordless airbrush gun. My black one is not working, so I just switched over to my silver one, but it's the same brand and everything. And I believe I have this one listed in my Amazon store, which is pinned to the top of the Cookie Snack Attack group. It's in the featured section on Cookie Snack Attack. So these are what we're going to use tonight. And I'm going to spray them and just put a couple drops each. I like that this has a silver inkwell, so I can see the color when I'm running out, as opposed to the first gun I got. Oh man, of course that went all over me. That had a black inkwell, so I couldn't really tell on the darker colors. And of course, look at that already. I'm yellow. Let me see if I got all that cleaned up. I don't want it to drip on the cookie. So we'll test this out first. I like also that it's smaller so that I don't put too much color in here, because you just don't need that much, right? So you can see that there's color in there. Let's see. Steady moving back and forth, pretty close to the paper. I think that will show up and give me some highlights, but it may not show up great for you guys on camera. So let me just run that last drop of color out. I'll switch to the other yellow and let's see which one of these is better for potentially showing up on camera, okay? And a little of this goes a long way, guys. When we start airbrushing, seriously, a little goes a long way. A drop or two, and that's all you need. Otherwise, you'll be wasting. Oh, yeah, that's probably going to be good. Let me do that. Yeah, I like that a little bit better. Hope that's not just another color coming out, but we're going to go ahead tonight and use the lemon. All right. I think that's going to show up better on camera. I think this in person would be beautiful, but it's going to show up better if we use the other one. All right. Now let's look at a couple of greens before we decide what to do our leaves with. Okay. I'll do those on here. Let's start with glowing green. I think that's the one I used most recently. So let's see what that looks like. Just 2 drops. That's all that's in there is 2 drops. Turn it on. I have a single action gun. All right. Single action airbrush. All right. I'm not really sure that's going to do anything when I go to highlight that. So let me just get all that color out. I also have a little airbrush pot jar. Let's say that airbrush jar that I can dispel this extra liquid into, but I'm just doing such a little bit. I'm just shooting it into a paper towel for speed. I don't know if that went down in there. Let's see. This is Forest Green by Cookie Countess. Oh yeah, I think we use that one. I think that'll show up good for you guys. But while we're into it, so you can see it, let me expel all of this color, and then we will we'll check out the succulent green, because that's all 3 of the greens that I have right now. Of course, that had to spit on me too, because if you have yellow, you should have a little extra green. So funny. Seriously, I know there must be some better bottles that they can come up with. These. All right, let's see if we got. Well, honestly, that doesn't look a lot different to me. It's a little bit different, but I think I'm going to go with forest green so it'll show up on camera better for you guys. I like the succulent green. And I remember using it when I did succulents this past summer. but I think we're going to go with forest green and do our green first. All right, now this is not an airbrush lesson. I'm just fooling around. Honestly, I haven't practiced enough to give you a full lesson on this yet. Like, I just do what I need to do to get by. So I'm going to experiment on my own cookies. Okay. Yeah, I'm out of gloves right now. I need some more. Amy, you got your cutters on the way home. Awesome. With a champagne glass. You got them at the buck and a quarter store. I can't call it the dollar store anymore, y'all. It just goes against me. All right, let's look at this before we get started. I want you guys to see this. So really close. If I get really close in there, I can get a very fine line. Do you see? Can you guys see that? I'm gently, and then I'm going to pull back if I want a wider, fainter spray. But at all times in layers, I want to build up my color. So if I want to get in an accent in the petals or in the leaves, I want to get really close and do a very, very fine line like that. Or I can pull back if I just want to shade my cookie from the sides. Okay. All right, here we go. Which one do I like the least? And we'll practice on that one. Let's practice on this one. Okay. Now, always start on a paper towel first. I'm going to hold my cookie here. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm going to do down the center by getting in close, and I'm just a little fine line. I think you can see that already, can't you? Can you guys see that? Let's do that on this leaf as well. And you can see it's not going all over the rest of the cookie. It's really right where I aim it. I'm going to pull back a couple inches and just lightly pull back on the gun and shade the sides, just one side. And by shooting from the side, it's going across the leaf, so I'm getting some nice shading on that. Now let's turn this one. It's clear that I'm going to be using bleach and scrubbing my hands down tonight, so I won't worry about it. I'm just going to go for it. Now I do want to turn it this way and put a little bit of shading up here next to the flower. All right, but trying to keep it off the yellow. I just want to get right in there. All right. A little this way. But it looks great, guys. Let me put it down. I'll zoom in. You guys take a look at that. Can you see it well on your screen? On my phone, I can see it great. On my computer screen's kind of dark. But I like how that looks. It looks pretty, and it gave me some extra dimension really quick. Plus, that was fun. Should be fun, right? All right, let's do just a little bit of shading on this one. All right. Because it really shouldn't take that much time. It should be for dimension. Oh, I like that because this one, remember, this is the one that I was super careful on. Let me come in here a little. Let me see. Can you see I was really careful on this one and did all the jiggling with the tip? So I have all those cool lines. Let me see if you can see it. I'll make sure you can see it, and I'll move it around if not. So do you see how you can see all of that? I like that. All right, let's do just a little bit more though. Let's go back out. Hopefully I'm not going to be blowing out green airbrush color later, but if I am, okay. I'll come this way. I just really like to hit those centers and blow out from the sides. Now, also, this is something else I discovered if you're new at airbrushing. If you get too much color, just grab a disposable brush or something and brush it while it's still wet up into the grooves. So don't worry, you can have happy accidents with no problem, okay? All right, let's blow out all the green. We're going to switch over, do some yellow. We're going to use the lemon yellow. So that was forest green from Cookie Countess. Like, guys, there's tons of brands of airbrush colors, so don't feel like you have to use what I have. Use what you have, okay? But just check your shading before you get going. Oh, let's get all that out of there. I'm just putting a little more in. Put some water in here and run through it. Using my spray bottle from 2T Stencils, which I love. Let's just rinse this out. If I had my airbrush jar sitting here, I would just expel all this water into that. It makes it so easy to clean up. I think we're going to be good. I think we're almost clear. So if you're airbrushing, you want to have all your cookies ready to go. I usually do between 12 and 24 of one color at one time, or I have multiple guns set up. So that if I want to do one whole cookie, I don't have to rinse my gun in between my airbrush. Oh, I hope this video doesn't get tagged. I don't want to rinse it in between each thing that I'm working on. So I have 4 different portable airbrush guns. I just make sure they're all charged up, and I put my colors in those as I go. So if I want to work from beginning to end on one particular cookie and finish it before I move on, I can. If not, I do 12 to 24 cookies at a time in one color, then clean it out, then go to the next color. Shelf life on airbrush colors. Okay, so there is definitely a shelf life on the icing colors, and there's a best used by on the airbrush colors. And I think my airbrush colors, I don't know if it's just because of when I ordered them, because I didn't start airbrushing right away. Some of these airbrush colors are good until 2026, but gel colors on the ones I haven't seen anything that's longer than a 3-year shelf life when I get it in. So I can't speak to all the time or all the brands, but that's what my situation is currently. Do you want me to try some of this? Let's see what this does. Let's see if we can see it first. Yep, we're into the yellow. Okay, so we're going to use this one first, and I'm going to go in between my layers on the side to just test it before I start doing all the highlight areas. I'm just going to shoot some color in there, like for shadowing. And I already did it on the paper towel to make sure it was cleaned out. All right, so now, guys, here we go. Up close, I'm just going to try to hit each of those little lines for some, whoops, there we go. I love this smaller airbrush needle. Hopefully needle won't get me blocked. But this makes all the difference in the world. I'm not having any of the splattering that I was having before, and I can get really delicate lines to get right in there and really accent small areas. I love that. And you don't need a lot more than that on these. All right, so you see what we've done there. We've got some nice dimension already, but now I'm going to pull out further from the cookie with the airbrush. And I'm saying maybe 3 inches away, about a 45-degree angle, and I'm just going to shoot a little bit of color on these leaves. I don't want to fully coat it because that defeats the purpose of doing the airbrushing. Now, I wouldn't be pulled back this far doing a darker color, but this is the lightest thing on the cookie. So if my airbrush color goes into another area, it's not going to hurt a thing. Now, I want to come in on the inside here and kind of darken around where the center is before I run out of color. There we go. And I think I'm going to set that one down, but it added an awful lot to the cookie. Can you guys see that? Let's see. See if you guys can see it. It just makes them, I don't know if you can really tell on my phone. I'm not sure that you can tell. Let's move this out of the way. Let me come back one. Add just a little bit more color in here. But I'm not sure if you can tell on the camera, like what a big difference it made, but in person, huge difference. All right, let's do a little bit more here because I want to make sure you see it. I don't think it'll screw up our photos, but I just want to make sure you can see how much it adds because it's picking up all those little subtle nuances in the royal icing from where we did the jiggling and we used that special tip that has that inverted V in the center. Let's just take a look here. But a lot. It adds a lot to the cookie. I like the shading. Okay, let's go back out this way. Did you see? I love that. I love how that looks. All right. Wait, so close up. Can you see it? Yeah, let's see. There's the undone next to the shaded. I'm still not sure you can see it as well on camera. Oh yeah, you can tell. On my phone, I can tell a big difference. And you can see all the variations. It's picking up all the little ripples and dimples and all of that. It's really pretty. Do you guys like that? So I think it's totally worth it, especially if you want to be able to upscale the cookies fast. Like it's a really, once you get your airbrush down and it becomes your friend, and you have to make friends with it. Once you do, then it's a huge difference. It really is like a whole level up for just seconds of work. Love it. Love it. Love it. Okay, let's do this other one because I want them both to match. Hi, sweetheart. What you doing? Anna came to say hello. I don't know if she's going to stay, but she's here right now. She usually just comes to tell me that it's time to go in the other room. She likes her nighttime cuddles. That's my middle pup. All right, now I'm in close. I want a fine line. I'm using a 0.2 or 0.02 needle. The very small needle, that's what I'm using. Let's just say that. Tammy, if you're on here, would you tell them in the comments? I'm just hitting this ridge because remember when we did these sunflowers, we changed out. This one we did with the same piping tip. We just made petals and we made the big leaves. So this one has a really cool defined center line. So picking out your piping tip is going to be important too if you know you're going to be airbrushing, because you're going to want that extra level of detail to have that fine center line, I think. It's really worth it. Now that green is from the green I had left in that piping tip, remember? So I'm going to hit that area a little bit heavier and see if I can cover that up. That's from when we piped the royal icing. All right, so you can already see the line, but I don't want to stop there. I want to come in from the side, 45-degree angle, about 3 or 4 inches away because I want a wide spray. And I just want to spray from the side so that it shoots across the top. Ooh, my language. Let's spray across the top of the sunflower so we get some additional shading. So let's look at both of these together. They're so pretty. I wish I had made more of these sunflowers. And I am going to be getting in airbrush colors. When I went to the 2Ts retreat, we got to try airbrush colors from Chef Master. So I'm going to be getting in some Chef Master colors soon. I finished up that order and placed it today. I really liked using those colors because I got just the basic set of colors because Tammy was teaching us how to mix our colors to get other colors for shading and things. So I liked that because I don't want to end up with 100 bottles of airbrush color, because that's what happened to me when I started experimenting with all the already mixed gel colors. Like now I'm a little further along and I feel like what I want to do at this point is actually spend some time studying the colors and mixing colors. So I got a base set from Chef Master airbrush colors because that's what we were using at the retreat. So I've already got some mixtures written down. I really like this, you guys. It's pretty. All right. So do you guys like that? Are you willing to, let's see. Allison, oh my goodness. 5 prescriptions in a shot. So does that mean it's not hives? Yeah, huge difference when you put them side by side, and even seriously, even bigger difference in person. So if you start experimenting with it at home, I think you're going to see a huge difference. All right, now my whole disclaimer is that I really have not spent that much time practicing with the airbrush until I went to this retreat. Really, it was not my friend. And after being at the retreat and learning some things about the airbrush itself and about the size needle and about single action, dual action, and just actually spending some time with Tammy and Todd, who are airbrush experts, I feel like I got a lot of information and a great place to jump off and start practicing. So if you guys are willing, I will post the a couple of cordless airbrushes. And they don't have them in stock currently, but Tammy and Todd at 2T Stencils will have this top part back in. So if you already have a cordless gun, a cordless airbrush, most likely it came with a 4 or 5 needle. But huge difference, you guys, if you're having trouble with it or too much colors releasing or a lot of splatters happening for you, you're using really too big of a needle to get the fine point action, the fine line action that you need on a cookie, because a cookie's a small thing to work on. And since we're going more towards 3-inch or less cookies next year, unless we're doing big display cookies or competition pieces, you're going to need that smaller needle. So this whole piece, they sell this. They're just out of it right now, and they sell it with the 2 in it, okay? Oh, and Pamela's saying to get the dilution solution. So I did order some of that as well. I think Becky, I don't know if it's that brand, but Becky had posted a dilution solution, and I wanted to try it because it's supposed to be like the color solution from the Sugar Art. So I wanted to compare the labels and try that on a Mad Scientist Monday. But I didn't want to start straining colors yet. And I know sometimes you have to do that with the gels. So Dawn, go back to wherever you purchased it from and read the description if you got it off Amazon. I didn't realize that all of my cordless airbrush guns have a 4 or a 5. And 2, it is different, Pamela? Okay. All right. I'll drop a link for that in the group too. Do you have to strain your gel colors when you're using the dilution solution? Or do you get that clumpy stuff in it? So I'm just not fast enough with it yet to do that. But let me know. Let me know if that breaks it down without having to strain everything. All right. So again, if you're going to order one of these, look for a light well area because it's easier to see the dark colors. There's also, I'll post it in the group, but 2T Stencil sells it. There is a little glass jar, kind of like a mini or a squatty mason jar that has a special lid and a place where you insert this so you can expel the extra airbrush color and rinse your well out so you don't have to keep getting up and down to go to a sink to rinse it. You can keep working. And that way it keeps it contained. It has a lid on it so it's not going all over. Like right now, if I blew my nose, I'd probably be blowing a little bit of rainbow dust out of there. Also, I wanted to tell you, one of the things I used to do when I first started attempting to airbrush until I just got so fed up with the problems that I was having. And then different people tried to tell me how to fix it and soaking the gun and all of that, and nothing worked. And I was really frustrated with it. Then I just started using it for doing the sides of my cookies, and I was happy with it again, but that's not really what you need it for. I just liked doing that because I like my whole cookie to be finished. We always talk about the, in Cookie Snack Attack, we talk about the side of our cookie being part of our cookie canvas as well, especially if we're doing competition pieces or things to submit for photographs or CookieCon. We want every little detail to look like it's finished. So I started using mine just to do the sides of the cookies, but now I'm going to get back to doing some actual detail work with it. And super excited because that means I'm going to attempt to use my big pan stencils again that come from 2T Stencils too. And you guys know I have that Florentine one from last Christmas and I love it. So you do a whole pan of cookies at one time, your accent cookies. All right. So Pamela, I'll do a little research and we'll figure that out. Okay. And then we'll see what to use with it. All right. What else? If you are in the Unplugged Fall Retreat group, if you are attending that and everybody is in the private group, give me about 15 minutes after this live stream ends because I want to go clean this out. I don't want anything to get set up in this area. So I'm actually going to go to the sink and clean it before I put it up. Give me about 15 minutes and then go into the group, look for a new post with a PDF file for the name tags. I need you to make sure the spelling's okay, your state is correct, and then comment below that post to let me know that you've actually viewed it, okay? Now, is everybody on board for more airbrushing for the remainder of this year? Probably, honestly, we won't start till we get closer to the Christmas pieces because I want you to start practicing first on royal icing transfers. That way, if you mess something up, you really can't mess something up, right? It's a royal icing transfer. If you really hate it, just throw it away. You haven't wrecked a whole cookie, but it'll get your skill. If you're doing it on royal icing transfers, it's going to get your skill a little more defined before you start doing cookies. So hopefully, okay, good. I see several of you saying, yes, you're in on airbrushing. Some of you are probably already outstanding at it. I just got waylaid by all the sculpting I was doing and then stopped practicing. But it's fabulous, and it's a really easy, inexpensive way to upscale the look. And then we can start using stencils, and then I can put that awesome Cricut to use that Myra sent me, so we can get to using that too. And have some of those files too. Okay, good. So all the people that are normally here on the regular, you guys are all saying yes. Yeah, I would look for the 0.2 needle, Allison. Go to 2T Stencils or send them a note, send them a message or whatever through Facebook or an email. Let them know when they get them back in, you want to know about it, because it literally, this gun, even though it's my portable, I said it again. Sorry, guys. I hope this video doesn't get taken down. It just unscrews. Your gun interchanges here, right? So I took off the whole piece instead of swapping out the needle because I didn't want to risk damaging the needle in here. And then I just put this smaller head on here. Just going to call it the head piece, okay, as opposed to the body piece. All right, it's not the real names, but we all know that we're having trouble with getting Facebook censored. Yes, but I probably won't do that, Dawn. I'll probably have Tammy come on and do that. When she wants to do that. I'm trying to get her to do something before Christmas, and then hopefully Miss Terry is going to come on with tweets and do a design for us too. I'll probably have both of them on at the same time because they're good friends. That way they can chat. I know it's true because that's what we do, right? We get it, and then we're afraid we're going to screw it up. But seriously, I got to do a lot of airbrushing at that retreat. I really enjoyed it. And now I think I'm willing to dive in again. So if you guys are with me, then we will be working on that next year too. Yes, it's so much fun. And it does make it easy, you guys, to use the stencils and to do the mesh stencils when you have to do like logos and stuff. Yeah, I've pulled mine totally apart before too, but the first time I did it, Allison, I broke the tip of a needle off. So when we go to do that, we're going to talk about some tricks. And Tammy told me it was okay to go over this stuff with you guys, but we're going to go over some tricks about how to reset that needle so that you don't break it off. Okay. So we'll do all that later. Tonight was just to see if you were, my printer is not a not brave enough issue. My printer is there's no more room in this room. And that's also the reason my Cricut machine doesn't stay out 100% of the time, because I literally have to clear half of my workspace. Now, shortly, I think some of that's going to change. So I got some good news today, and some of that's going to change. I'm not going to tell you anymore right now. Okay. So we'll just leave it at that. So I think that's it for tonight. Unless you guys want to talk about something else, please don't forget, we're going to have some box unveilings this week. I can't tell you for sure what time of night, because if I finish up what I'm working on at 4, I may just jump on at 4 and do them so that you guys have them. But I've got a Cookie Life box to do. I've got some awesome Happy Mail from Kelly. I've got some awesome Happy Mail with presents from Nadine. And I can't wait to show you the stuff. All of it's great, but I can't wait to show you the stuff that Kelly sent me because it's gnome related. That's all I'm going to say. It's gnome related. So I already showed you the really awesome things that we're going to use as our inspiration for the 12 gnomes next year. And we talked about that in Monday night's video. So take a look at that. Send me questions. Give me about 15 minutes, guys. If you're going to the Unplugged retreat in Snowshoe Mountain, West Virginia, and verify your names, everything's okay. And please make a comment so I know you've actually looked at it and that all is well. Okay. All right. Super excited to see you guys again. Thank you for everybody that sent. Oh, Debbie's bringing me Happy Mail, but to retreat. I have Happy Mail for people too that's going to retreat because I'm trying to save the postage. By the way, someone confirmed again today that postage is going up. So if you guys got anything you need to get in the mail, get it in the mail before the beginning of October. Okay. All right. I will catch up with you guys later. Thanks for spending time with me tonight. Thank you to everyone that sent stars earlier today. I so much appreciate it. And I will be talking with all of you soon. See you another night this week. Bye, Fabiola. Bye, Susan. Bye, Debbie. Bye, Allison. Bye, Miss Pamela.